Hi everyone. Good morning, good morning. This is Proctor. I want to thank you for joining me today. Please type in where you're from. I want to thank you for joining me. This is Proctor. And today we're going to talk about how you can make more money without working harder. So again, please type in where you're from, where you're located. This is going to be interactive, so if you type your questions into chat, I will address those as they come in, or when we have time to take questions. Now, what I've done is I've actually written some notes here for myself, so I don't forget any of this, and hopefully we can get through all of these important points. But today we're talking about the best system to work with buyers, and you probably agree with me that there is a best way to do this, right? Doctors have best practices, lawyers have best practices, and it's true for real estate agents as well. So I also think you would agree that some buyers are better than other buyers. Okay, so if you want to make a lot of money in real estate and you want to work less, then it's very important that we find the very best buyers. That's the best way I know for you to make more and work less is to work with higher quality buyers. In fact, if you're working with, we've all had the joy of working with a buyer that fights us, resists us, they lie to us, they're not loyal to us. And how do you feel after a long, hard day of working with a buyer like that? It's difficult, right? And then the opposite of that is a prospect that respects you, they take your advice, they are a joy to work with. And then when you go home, you feel much better working with a prospect like that. So not only will you make more money working with better quality buyer prospects, but you'll have a lot more fun every day getting up and going to work. So the question is how do we get these high quality buyers, especially when there's a shortage of listings? We need the best buyers that will make good offers so we're not wasting our time. And another really good reason to have a great buyer system is not just to get the buyers, but it's also to get their listings. So what I'm going to share with you today will help you get buyers, but it will also help you get their listings, because some of these buyers, of course, will have houses to sell. So you might want to write this down. The easiest way to get listings is to get a seller, someone that owns a house, to respond as a buyer. So how do we get these best buyers to respond to us? So we're not chasing them. We want to set this system up so the high quality buyers and sellers are coming to us on their own volition. And then because they're coming to you, you're positioned much differently, right? You're positioned as an expert, not a salesperson. So that's key, is we're going to set up the marketing so the buyers are chasing us. We're going to have automatic sifting and sorting to answer and sift and sort the buyer prospects. So you're only going to be working with the very best buyers. Now, we're going to create what we call rules of engagement. For example, when you work with a seller, you have set rules of engagement, right? Like if a seller called you and said, hey, come on over and I don't want to sign anything, but I want you to come and look at my house, and I want you to advertise it, and I want you to do open houses on the weekend, and I want you to present me offers, and then if you bring me an offer that I like, maybe I'll pay you. None of you would do that, right? So before we do any work with sellers, we have rules of engagement, meaning the seller has to meet with us, sign a listing agreement, and then we'll spend the time and the money. But for many realtors, they don't have those same rules or standards in place when it comes to working with buyers. So they'll get an ad call or a sign call, they'll drop whatever they're doing, jump in their car, drive 20 minutes across town to show a property that you probably know they're not going to buy it. Why? Because you've done this for a long, long time, and the odds of them calling off of a sign and buying it are not good. So here's the problem. once you go out with the buyer and you start showing them properties, without the buyer agency agreement in place, like there's no going back. I mean, eventually you'll get the buyer contract signed, maybe the day they're making an offer, but we could argue at that point it doesn't matter anymore because they're already buying a house. So what I want to teach you is how to attract a ton of high quality buyers, not any kind of buyers, but the very best buyers. We're talking about buyers that are qualified, buyers that respect you, that appreciate your time. We're going to get the buyers to come to you. We're automatically going to sift and sort the buyers. Then we're going to compel the best buyers to meet with us. And how do we do that? Well, we have to offer buyers the thing they want more than anything else. I call this a universal offer. Makes sense, right? If you owned a store, a retail store, you wouldn't want to stock your shelves with things that hardly anybody wanted. You would want to stock the shelves of your store with items that everybody wanted, right? Things that had universal appeal. So it's the same thing here. What is the thing the buyers want more than anything else? I can't give you all my secrets here today, but if this interests you, you're going to be able to book a call with my team. You can go to craigproctorcall.com. Maybe someone could type that in, craigproctorcall.com. So if what I'm making sense, if this makes sense to you today, you're probably going to want to book a free no obligation consultation. We'll talk about your business and explain in more detail how all this works. But the idea here is I've come up with an offer, something that almost 100% of buyers not only want, they'll say yes to. Now to get this, they need to meet with you either virtually, right, if you can't meet with them in person, or you're going to meet at their house or at your office. If they're first-time buyers, I jump them through an extra hoop and I make them come to me at my office. Obviously, if they own a home, I want that meeting to be at their house. So I've got marketing that attracts the best buyers and sellers that I can share with you. Then I teach you what to say to qualify them and make this universal offer, this big, huge, ginormous offer that all buyers want, so the buyers say yes to meeting with you. Now, we have to have a presentation. We have to have a benefit presentation. When you meet with them, you can't just be talking about yourself or talking about representation. What you need to be talking about is all of the things that you're going to do for them. And here's the great thing about this. In the beginning, when you're meeting with buyers, you're not charging them anything. So this should be an easy conversation, right? Like with the seller, you have to say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, here's all the things I do for you. In exchange for all of the things I do for you, it's $20,000 or $30,000 or $40,000 or more. Not true with a buyer. With a buyer, you're selling free, right? You're saying, I'm going to do this for you, and this for you, and this for you, and this for you, and none of my services cost you a penny. Okay, all my services are absolutely free. All I ask in return is for a loyalty. Does that sound fair? Now, is that a fair request? If you're going to do this and this and this and this, all these things for the buyers, and you don't charge them any money, all of this is free. All that you ask in return for these valuable services is their loyalty. And you ask them, does that sound fair? And most buyers, like 8 out of 10 of them, will say yes. Now, if they say no, it's good for you to know that up front, right? Because you will not lose any more buyers using the Craig Proctor system. You'll just lose some of the buyers faster, which is a good thing, because we only want to spend our time with motivated, sincere, ready-act buyers and ready-to-act sellers, and we're getting them to come to us. Okay, so we just talked about how to compel the buyers to meet with you, and we just talked about the presentation. Again, it's an offer presentation. In the presentation, we're offering all the stuff the buyers want, and we're charging the buyers nothing in return, in exchange for these valuable services. Okay, now, here's the best part. How many buyers could you work with if it had nothing to do with you? Okay, how many buyers could you work with if it had nothing to do with you? After we get the buyer signed to a buyer contract, what we're teaching the buyers is we're teaching them how to do the work themselves. Okay, so the buyers are going to do the looking around. We're going to be emailing them properties. We're going to teach the buyers, program them like this is how this is going to work once you sign the buyer agency agreement. So how many buyers could you work with if it like really didn't depend on you? And so you're going to get involved when they see a house they like at some point. But eventually, as your business starts to grow, this same buyer system that I'm teaching to you, you're going to be able to teach this to other licensed agents that you recruit. Because at some point, you're going to want to expand your business beyond you. Perhaps you'll want to do that, right? So next question, how many homes could you sell if it didn't have anything to do with you, right? If you could take this system and you could expand it, and how would you recruit other agents? Easy. You would prove to them that you have the buyers and sellers. You have the thing that they want, and you've got this system to bring the buyers and sellers in. So eventually, with all these systems in place, you've got like this real business, right? You've got leads, buyers and sellers that are coming to you. You've got someone that you've trained in the first it'll be you, but someone you've trained eventually to take the inquiries that are coming in or return inquiries. You'll have a script to qualify the buyers and sellers. And then if the buyers and sellers sound really awesome, you're going to want to meet with them. So what words, what offer must come out of your mouth to compel the best buyers and sellers to want to meet with you? Remember, we can't make buyers and sellers meet with you. We can only compel them to want to meet with you. So this takes the right language. And then you have to have an awesome presentation. Okay, I mean, you could do everything I just talked about, but if you've got a weak presentation, you could still lose the business. So please type in where you're from. Type in where you're from, and we'll take a few questions here. But I'm going to keep going with this. If you guys are enjoying this, again, just want to share with you what my top members are doing, what I did to be the top ReMax agent in the world, selling 500 to 600 homes a year. These same strategies are being used by agents all over North America. So far, if you're joining us a bit late, we've talked about the fact that some buyers are better than other buyers. How do I get the best buyers to come to me? Okay. Understanding getting buyers is also a way to get the sellers, right? Because a lot of these buyers have houses to sell. So I want to attract buyers that have houses to sell, because that's how I'm going to get listings. Who I'm going to meet with, who do I know who I should meet with and who I should not meet with? How do I compel the best buyers to meet with me? And then what does this awesome buyer presentation, and you have to have an awesome listing presentation, what do these benefit presentations look like? So number one, they'll choose you. Now, eventually, what I teach you is how to negotiate your fee with the buyers. In the beginning, I get you to start off with, hey, I do this and this and this and this, and all my services are free, and you're just accepting what's being offered on MLS. But you guys see what's going on with the commission being offered on MLS, right, to the buyer broker. It's going down and down and down and down, and that trend will continue. So eventually, I teach you how to be so good at this that you're going to be able to negotiate your fee with the buyer up front, just like you negotiate your fee with a seller, right? You know what you're going to get paid when you take on a listing. If you offer enough value, enough benefits, you can charge a higher fee. You can negotiate it and be paid what you're worth. Okay, so this takes skill. It's a system and it takes skill. Now, again, if this resonates with you, if this kind of turns you on and you want to get more information, you'd like to talk to me and my team about our strategies, it's absolutely free of charge and no obligation to set up book a call with us. You can go to craigproctorcall.com. If someone can type that in to the chat, I'd really appreciate it. Just my name, craigproctorcall.com. craigproctorcall.com. If you go there, you can pick a date and a time, and we'll reserve an hour, and we'll talk to you about your business, where you are right now, where it is you want to go, all the stuff that you've tried in the past. What is your biggest problem? What have you tried to do to solve that biggest problem? And we'll give you our advice. What we're going to honestly try to do is impress you with how we can help you. get you to think about your business in a different way. And then if you want to continue on with us, that's fine. If you don't, no cost, no obligation. So I would recommend that if what I'm talking about here makes sense to you, if you want to make more money and work less and have a better business in 2021, then book a call with us. CraigProctorCall.com and set a day and a time, and we'll get on a Zoom meeting. Actually, it's going to be a Zoom meeting because we want to show you things, not just talk to you over the phone. Okay, so let's look at some of our questions and comments in chat. So we've got Adil from Montreal. Hello. We've got Shai Schwartzman in Toronto. We've got someone else here in Toronto, someone else in Montreal. We've got Judy from Florida. We've got Tammy in Fort Lauderdale. I want to thank you all for being with me. We've got Bill in Victoriaville, California. We've got Tracy in San Diego. Ken in Rochester, New York. We've got Masood with us. Again, it's, yes, thank you, Masood, for typing in the link, CraigProctorCall.com. So if you joined us a little bit late, I'm Craig Proctor. I was one of the top ReMax agents in the world for over 20 years. I've been coaching and helping real estate agents make more money and work less and have a better life in real estate for the last 20 years. Some of my clients include Sarah Reynolds. She's in Washington, D.C. She's the #1 Keller Williams agent in the entire world for commissions earned. She makes about $1 million a month in GCI. When she came to me, she was making about $300,000 a year. So I've got agents that are brand new in real estate. I've got agents that are grizzled veterans that are working hard, and maybe they're making a lot of money, but they're just spending way too many hours every week grinding it out. I've got top producers, realtors come to me for different reasons. Today, we were talking about systems. Okay, we're talking about, is there a best way to run your real estate business? Obviously. Some of you may be using the wing it approach. How many of you are using the wing it approach to real estate? So you get up every morning, it's kind of random. It's like maybe your listing presentation. You kind of make it up as you go along. Now, it's exciting, right? It's fun and exciting, this wing it approach, because every day you don't know what you're going to do, but you're kind of like a leaf in the wind, right? The wind goes this way and the leaf goes over here. The wind goes this way, leaf goes over here, and you're consumed by perhaps technical activities. Like you're busy, but you're just not getting the results that you know you could get. So what we teach is systems. We teach you a lead generation system, okay, to get buyers and sellers contacting you. So this is not about knocking on doors, okay? This is not about cold calling. It's not about chasing FSBOs or expired listings or sitting in open houses. We teach you smart, modern marketing to compel qualified buyers and sellers to come to you. Then we teach you exactly what you need to say to qualify them, to sift and sort them, because here's the goal. I want to teach you how to generate slightly more buyer and seller leads than you could possibly handle. Okay, remember, they're coming to you. Think of how much better you're positioned when buyers and sellers are coming to you instead of you chasing them. Okay, but these are not crappy leads, right? These are not the leads you're buying from Zillow. These are not the leads from Realtor.com. Many of you are buying crappy leads. Type into chat right now if you're tired of buying crappy leads. Okay, these are leads, they don't pick up the phone, you can't reach them, they're not even motivated, they're not even seriously looking for a house. So I'm not talking about doing what everyone else is doing. I'm not talking about old school prospecting, I'm not talking about buying crappy leads. I'm talking about having a true marketing system that attracts, like a magnet, it attracts the very best buyers and sellers in your marketplace. They come to you. Now, why do you want slightly more buyers and sellers than you can handle? Because you know the answer, because some of them are way better than others. How many of you have worked with a horrible, terrible buyer or seller. They disrespect you. They're not loyal. They fight you all the way through the transaction. They're a total nightmare. And how do you feel after going home after a long day working with a bad prospect? I mean, your head is down. You're kind of depressed. They suck all the energy out of you. When you walk in the front door, even your dog knows something's wrong, right? So that's no way to make a living. Look, I suppose door knocking, cold calling, working with bad prospects, if you want to grind it out, you can make a living, but that's not what we're talking about here. I'm talking about building a business that eventually doesn't even rely on you. Okay, that's a real business. Most real estate agents have a job, right? It totally depends on them, right? And when they get burnt out, they get tired of the grind, they just walk away from real estate. I'm going to ask this question again. I asked it earlier. I want you guys to have the vision here. How many homes could you sell if it had nothing to do with you? What if this is true? This is how I sold over 500 homes a year. This is how Sarah Reynolds makes over $1 million in commissions, not sales, in commission income every single month as the top KW agent in the world with these systems, okay? So that's what I want you to start thinking about as we head into the new year. I want you to think about, how can I learn from other people? Like everything I'm talking about here, it already exists. Everything you want to do in real estate is already being done by hundreds, by thousands of other Craig Proctor students. You don't have to have a creative bone in your body. All you have to do is copy what exists, okay? Make more, work less, okay? And get up every day and love what you're doing. That's called a career, not a job. And eventually it turns into a profitable business where you can expand it to the degree that you want to expand it. Okay, type in again if you're joining me a little bit late. Where are you located? Let us know where you're located. Let me know any questions you have, and I'll go through some of these questions now. We'll take a few of these, but if you're interested in booking a absolutely free of charge, no obligation call with me and my team, go to CraigProctorCall.com. My name, CraigProctorCall.com. Again, someone please type that into chat. CraigProctorCall.com, and you'll go to my Acuity Day Timer. You'll pick a day and you'll pick a time, and free of charge, no obligation, my team and I will do a consultation with you. We'll ask you a bunch of questions. In fact, when you go there, you'll see an intake form where we ask you these great questions. You'll know that this is a good use of your time just by the questions we ask you on the intake form, and then we'll talk to you about your business. Okay, and if you think we can help you, great. If not, no obligation, just keep doing whatever you're doing. Okay, so let's go to chat questions here. We've got Nancy Duval from Naples, Florida. Hi, Nancy, thanks for being here. We've got Pon from Richmond Hill. We've got Bill Kennedy. He wants to know, how well does this system work for agents that are starting new? A lot of my clients are brand new, newly licensed. I also have realtors that have been in the business for 15 or 20 years. So realtors come to me for the same thing, is they want a proven system. Just because you've been in real estate for a long, long time doesn't mean you have the best systems. In fact, Bill, I'm going to say it's easier to teach somebody like you that's new in the business exactly how to do this, because you're not bothered by old paradigms, right? You're not bothered by all the old stuff they teach you. Veterans, would you agree with that? That it's difficult, right? They teach you certain ways of doing it. Like when you get into real estate, the natural thing is you look around at what everyone else is doing and you assume it's the thing to do and you start to copy it. And then you get the same poor results that everyone else is getting. So whatever you're doing right now, you've copied it from someone else. So we're just saying, why not copy a better model? Again, everything you want to do in real estate has already been done by thousands of Craig Proctor members all over Canada and the United States. Okay, let's take a few more questions. Farid wants to know, does one need to be a type A personality? I don't know. I don't think so. I've got thousands of members. I do, have lots of them that are type A, but they come in many shapes and forms, different personality types. If you're a student of DISC personality, DISC, D-I-S-C, you'll know there's 4 personality, major personality traits, and my members fall into most of those 4 categories. The majority of them probably are D and I, but we have lots of S and C personalities. But look, can you follow a system? The real question for all of you, if you're interested in this, is are you coachable? Are you coachable? Some people are not coachable, right? Some people wouldn't take good advice. Do you know anybody like that? Do you know anybody like you could give them good advice, they're just not going to take it? So if you're not coachable, this is probably not for you. But if you play sports or have ever played sports, you probably had a coach, right? If I want to become a great golfer, then I need to find a great golfer to teach me how to do what they teach. You see, in the real estate industry, a lot of the coaches and trainers, they don't have my background. They've either never sold real estate, they haven't made millions of dollars actually selling real estate. Okay, they didn't have a license, or they weren't that successful. So, the old saying, if you can't do, teach. I had a super successful track record in real estate, making millions of dollars doing the things that we teach you to do. Okay, Manuel says, how easy is it to teach an old dog? Well, again, are you coachable, right? I don't think any of this matters. I don't think it has to do with age or experience. I think most of it comes down to your attitude, and are you willing to accept better proven ideas? Are you willing and able to replace old habits with better ways of doing things, right? And that's part of what we help you do. We not only teach you the system, we give you the technology that you need, okay? We help you get your head on straight. Like a lot of what I talked about today was your mindset in regards to how do you think about buyers. I said earlier, instead of you running around with, every time you get an ad call or a sign call, jumping out of the house or the office like a Pop-Tart, driving 20 minutes across town to show a house to somebody that's not going to buy that house. It's not a good use of your time. And once you've done that, once you jump out there and start showing them houses without a buyer agency agreement in place, what have you just said to the buyer? What have you taught the buyer? That your time is worth nothing, right? You can't go backwards, right? Once the cat's out of the bag, the cat doesn't want to go in the bag. So we show you how to do this properly. Now, that's why, again, you need lots of buyers. I want you to only work with the buyers that will do it your way. Some of the buyers won't. That's okay. Your answer to that will be next. Now, I get it. If you've only got one buyer, then you can't have rules, because you're afraid that if you say to the buyer, you got to come with me and meet with me and sign a buyer agency agreement. First of all, if you don't know how to do that, they're probably not going to meet with you, nor are they going to sign the agreement, because you don't have the right language, the right offers, the right benefits. And you're terrified that if you only have one buyer, well, what if they say no? Now I've got no buyers. So I totally get that. That's why I want to show you how to master lead generation. So the way you run your business isn't dependent on one buyer or one seller. Okay, let's go back to some more questions here in chat. Keep them coming again. Let us know where you're from, where you're located. Let me know what you're thinking about here today. Any questions? We'll take some of those right now. Again, if you want to book a free consultation with me and my team, go to my name, CraigProctorCall.com, CraigProctorCall.com, and book a time, book a date and a time. We'll ask you a bunch of questions in our intake form, so we're well educated on you and where you are and what it is you want to do. Okay, I was coached by MFO, but I do not work out. Okay, I don't know really. Okay, I think that's Mike Ferry. Yeah, so we're not teaching cold calling or door knocking. Tammy says they can still walk away with a BA. Well, I suppose they can. I mean, it is a contract, Tammy, but it's a good start, right? I mean, am I going to sue somebody that signs a buyer agency agreement if they buy from somebody else? No, but Tammy, if you were my buyer and I met with you and I said, hey, Tammy, I'm going to get you pre-qualified for the best financing. I'm going to email you every day all the hot new listings that match your criteria. I'm going to run around and show you all these properties that you want to see. And when you see one you like, I'm going to craft that offer in your best interest. And all these things that I do, Tammy, are absolutely free of charge. All I ask in return, Tammy, is for your loyalty. Does that sound fair? And I'm looking them right in the eyes. Okay, so if they say no, I've got to ask myself, if it's true that I've got dozens of other buyers, how much time do I want to commit to a buyer who up front in the first 10 minutes is saying, hey, Craig, you can do this for me and this for me and this for me and this for me, and I know all your services are free, and I know you're saying all you ask in return for these valuable services is my loyalty. If they balk at that, if they say no, I'm just saying, if you continue to work with them for weeks or months and then they leave you behind when they buy a home, it's kind of our fault, right? So wouldn't it be better if we did it this way? If it was true, and I know some of you might be skeptical, that I could help you attract dozens and dozens of buyers. So we don't care if some of the buyers won't meet with us. We don't care if some of the buyers we meet with won't sign the buyer agency agreement, because enough of them will. Enough of the buyers that we're going to attract will agree to meet with you, and enough of the buyers that meet with you will agree to sign the buyer agency agreement. At least we know there's a pretty good chance we're going to get compensated for the time that we spend with these buyers. Okay, thanks, Tammy. Let's hope that makes sense. Let's take a few more questions here. And see, again, not too late to type in your questions. Let me know where you're from, what marketplace you're in, and we'll take a few more before we wrap this up. Okay, Chris is asking, can you talk more about the lead generation methods in using Facebook and Google? Okay, so those are two really great ways, Chris, to attract buyers. It's very, very inexpensive with Facebook. I'm going to argue Google will get you probably better qualified buyers, but with Facebook, we're going to drive the buyers. We're going to make an offer they want. The buyers are going to go to a lead ad page inside, it's like a landing page inside Facebook, where we're going to capture their information. But before we go to the lead ad page, we can design this to ask a bunch of qualifying questions. Like what's your moving time frame? Do you own a house you're currently renting? Have you been pre-qualified for financing? So there's a way that we can set up our online advertising so it's effective. We generate leads, but we can sift and sort the buyers. So again, we know who the best ones are. Let me repeat this. The only way that I know of for you guys to make more money and work less is to attract better buyers and sellers. And then eventually you have so many of them that you can leverage this out. You could hire other team members like I did to sell 500 homes a year. Do you know that when I was selling 500 homes a year, I was working less than when I was selling 50 homes a year as a solo agent? You know, it's like we heard when we were a kid, right? When you were a child, you probably heard, the more you make, the less you do. Well, absolutely, that was true for me, and it's true for my top members, because we set this up as a business, not just a job. Most real estate agents have a job, and it's not a good job because they're on call 7 days a week, and they're just not making the kind of money that they want to make. If that's you, then book a call with me. You got nothing to lose. You got everything to gain. I mean, really, you got two choices, right? You can stay where you are right now, or you can book a call. You can go to craigproctorcall.com, book a free, no obligation, 1-hour consultation. When you go there, you pick your day, your time. We'll spend an hour with you. You fill in an intake form. We ask you a bunch of questions about where you are, where you want to go, what's the biggest problem you're having in your business. We give you our free advice. If you like it, if you think, hey, this 1 hour that was free was really helpful, you may want to decide to be a client. But again, no cost, no obligation. But if you don't try, you don't know. So craigproctorcall.com. All right, let's take a few more questions here. Okay, again, let us know where you're from. Okay, Monterey, California. Okay, next question is, does this work for mortgage brokers? Well, do mortgage brokers need buyer leads? They do, right? So the way most mortgage brokers play it is they run around, bagging the real estate agents for the buyers. I have mortgage brokers that flip it around. They do the opposite. The mortgage broker generates the leads, and the real estate agents are chasing the mortgage broker because the person who generates the leads is in control of the transaction. So yes, you could be a mortgage broker, you could be a real estate agent. We all need high quality buyer and seller leads. Is this being pre-recorded? I think it is being recorded, but hey, if you guys like this, by the way, why don't you share it? You can share this with someone that you know that's in real estate that you think could benefit from this. Yeah, just share it when we're done. Not now, when we're done, you can share it with someone you know. Also, if you like this, you should go to Craig Proctor Seminars, like my page, follow my page, and you can get notified. Turn on video notifications every time I do a video. It'll notify you. Again, if you like this, that's what I would do. Go to Craig Proctor Seminars, follow me, like the page, click on video notification, and then you're going to get everything that I produce. And I plan on doing a bunch of these as we move forward, if you guys find these are helpful. Okay, next, Claude. Claude is from Queens, New York, and he says, I used to live in Toronto, Canada for a few years. Well, thanks for being with us here, Claude. Hope you're enjoying it. Tammy Jenkins, can you team up with a friend and purchase your system? Well, if you have a team, you only pay one fee because a lot of people have teams, right? So we train you, and we would train your team member. So if you've got a partner, like a lot of husband and wives, you got a partner you work with, or you've got outside sales agents or inside sales agents, not only will I train you, I will train your team members on how to use this system. See, the number one thing is we want to show you how to be super successful with this, right? So that's going to require you and your team being trained so you're all pulling in the same direction. Okay, more questions. Again, type them into chat. We're going to wrap this up in a few minutes. Bill Kennedy says, what if you have a limited budget? Okay, excellent question, Bill. Most of us, when we start into real estate, we have a limited budget. We're not Coca-Cola, right? The good news for Coca-Cola is everyone's their customer. So that's why they can spend gazillions of dollars on billboards and radio and TV. Well, as small independent business people, we're not Coca-Cola. So we have small budgets. So what I teach you is how to take your limited budget, your small budget, and how to apply it the right way. So for example, on Facebook, we can generate leads for $3 to $5 a piece. Very inexpensive. There's also places we can generate leads for free. So we teach you, based on your budget, here are the offers to make, and here are the places to make those offers. And when the leads come in, this is what you do with the leads. These are the presentations. Follow the system, and you start to get these great results. Okay, great question. Thank you for that, Bill. Okay, is there any other questions or comments here before we wrap this up? I think I've got to most of them. Okay, some are asking about lead generation. Andrew in Miami. Virginia Thomas, Los Angeles. Hello, thank you for being with us. Sham from Dayton, Ohio. Thank you for being with us here today. Okay, I think we've got to most of the questions, so we're going to wrap this up in just a minute. First of all, did you enjoy this today? Let me know, give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you liked this, and if you did, we'll do more of these. I'll pick, I've got a bunch of what I think are very common problems that realtors have and solutions that I would like to share with you. So if you like this format, let me know in the comments below. Remember to share this with other people that you know in real estate. that you believe would benefit. And if you'd like a no obligation, no cost consultation with me and my team, just go to craigproctorcall.com. You'll see, pick out the date, pick out the time, fill in the questions in the intake form, and we'll spend an hour talking about your business. So thank you so much for being with me here today. I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll talk to everybody soon. Take care. Hi, this is Craig Proctor. Hey, I really hope you enjoyed that video. And listen, I've got a lot more information for you to help you grow your real estate business. You see, several times a week, I record new videos and I load them onto this YouTube channel. What I'd like you to do, if you'd like to access them, are two important things, and both are totally free. Number one is I'd like you to subscribe to this channel. You're going to see a little subscribe button for you to click on. And if you don't already have an account with YouTube, it's free for you to set it up. It's really easy, it's free, but you've got to subscribe to this channel. And the most important thing is to ring the little bell right next to the subscribe button. And that's going to let you know every time I load new money-making videos to help you grow your real estate business. So make sure you subscribe right now, you ring the little bell, and we'll see you on the next video.